As we come down from diaphragm, we are in the abdominal cavity. I'm reviewing again the second time or third time maybe. And there are two types of structures. In total, 3 organs, but 2 kinds. And those would be a pair of adrenal, that makes it 2. And the third one would be pancreas. Adrenal is part of only endocrine system, whereas pancreas, as you know from last test, is digestive and endocrine. The model here shows a pair of kidneys topped by adrenal, and you have done this before. You did adrenal vein, adrenal artery, so you know it inside out. Then this leaf-like structure here, slightly to the left, traveling to the middle, is the pancreas. This pancreas you have seen many times, but we take a pinch of pancreatic tissue and put it here. And then we do the same under the microscope. We take the pancreas and look at the slide of the pancreas under the microscope. The things to keep in mind for pancreas, not a whole lot for adrenal yet, but for pancreas is first, it is part of 2 systems. Second, why it is part of 2 systems. And the answer obviously will be because it is exocrine producing the enzyme, it is endocrine producing the hormone insulin and glucagon. And then you also have to relate these 2 kinds of functions to 2 kinds of cells, 2 kinds of internal structures. The cells that are exocrine, that means the enzyme producing cells, are called acinar cells. And they come in masses. They come in lumps called acini, plural, acinus, singular. And those are enzyme producing cells. Beyond that, you do not have to identify them into different cell types for different enzymes. The other kinds of cells that make pancreas endocrine obviously are endocrine cells that produce insulin and glucagon. And masses of such cells are called islets of Langerhans, sometimes called pancreatic islets. Those cells again come in 2 types within the islets, but you would not have to tell beta cell from alpha cell. This is for histology, and a little bit of that histology is shown here by way of larger masses as acinar cells, and then tinier cell masses called, and you have 2 different numbers of them. The smaller cell mass is called islets of Langerhans, islet cells. So pancreas. For adrenal, you already know what it looks like, where it is located, and how to identify it. But we have to go beyond that for this wrap-up topic on endocrine system. You take that adrenal, cut it to see what is inside of it. Like most other organs, the terminology holds here. The covering is called the capsule. The tissue right inside of the capsule, that is more peripheral tissue, for any organ is called cortex. In this case, you will say adrenal cortex, which is shown in a different color in the model. And the middle tissue for most organs is called its medulla. And you have the adrenal medulla. Those 3 parts are clearly seen in the model. But we have to look at this under the slide as well, under the, I should say, microscope as well, where you'll identify capsule, you'll identify cortex, and you'll identify medulla. But then you go back into the cortex under the microscope and identify 3 zones. And those are very well labeled in the figure we selected. I should say photomicrograph we selected in the lab manual. And I see your page is correctly open here, Ms. Priest's page. So within the cortex, it's all called adrenal cortex, but you have 3 zones: glomerulus zone, and reticular zone, and fascicular zone. Those are parts of the adrenal cortex, which you will not be able to see here. All you see is adrenal cortex. So abdominal endocrine structure. Then you go in the pelvic